You see, despite all my knowledge, despite being a connoisseur of children's television, I have to admit, I like iCarly. Alright, 2017. Sort of like the semi-expired mayonnaise on the shit sandwich that was those 4 awful years of the mid to late 2010s. It's not good, and taken on its own, it would be one of the worst things you've ever eaten, but compared to the stuff surrounding it, I actually don't look back fondly on a lot of videos I made in 2017. Some of them are fine, but a lot of them have very little energy, aren't very well written, the lighting is awful, and they just aren't that funny. And I still go back and regularly watch vids I made in 2016, 15, and even 14. I think the problem was that I would film several reviews at once, so I was kind of rushing them. This review, for example, I filmed alongside both the Clerks pilot review, Milo Murphy's Law pilot review, and Anger Management review. And by the end, I just wanted to get this shit done. But anyway, I go nuclear. There may be worse episodes of iCarly, but this one just gets under my skin. I hate the fact that Sam does no work and gets all the credit. I hate that stupid teacher and how dumb he is. I hate the fact that Cal is so stupid he allows an illegal device he built to be on broadcast over the internet. Everything about this episode just makes me angry. I do like this show, I really do, but episodes like this make it hard to defend. So, which episode to cover as a counter? Well, that's the thing. It was actually really hard to find one. So I am kind of stretching it here, much like I do with Fairly Odd Parents. But I think the episode I Promise Not to Tell from season 1 is about as close as we can get. It has an unfair teacher and Sam actually being kind of decent. So let's jump in. We start with Spencer yelling at a lamp in a vain attempt to get it to turn on. It's not 2015 yet, Spencer. You can't just turn on lights by yelling.
You need a ride to school?
Nah, Freddie's mom's gonna drive us.
I wouldn't want to be stuck in a confined space with that woman for more than 30 seconds. Carly tells him about her history report, which she worked really hard on.
If I get an A on this, that means I'll get an A for the semester. Which means I'll have straight A's on my report card for the first time ever!
Oh, to be young and think grades actually mean anything and it's not based more on the connections you make. Carly even figures out that you're supposed to shout lamp in Japanese to get it to work. And I'm just guessing they had this scene because the Japanese word for lamp is funny.
Rampu!
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 Anyway, their history teacher, Mr. Devlin, is a fast talker. The more I watch Schneider shows, the more I think he has something against teachers' unions. I mean, just wait till we get to the Zoe 101 episode. He's also a Mr. Crocker type where he apparently enjoys failing students, because that'll help you in the long run. He even gave Carly a B, not because of anything wrong with the report itself, but because
It was printed on 3-hole paper, which I hate.
dude, even if you have tenure, you can still get fired for incompetence. And you are the definition of an incompetent teacher.
But this means I'll get a B+ for the semester.
Yes. Congratulations.
Wow, I really hate this man. Like, I want him dead.
Tell you what, on the next iCarly, we tell everyone to go egg Mr. Devlin's house.
Yes, advocate for vandalism on your popular web show. That'll work out well for you. Spencer even made her a giant A made out of a bunch of smaller A's to celebrate.
Would you mind taking it apart?
Carly?
Seriously, if I'm not gonna get straight A's, then I'd rather not be reminded of what almost was.
Laugh track, was that supposed to be funny? This seems actually kind of sad. You know, Spencer really was a good brother. Sibling relationships and family shows are often portrayed as rivals or too perfect for reality. Spencer and Carly were actually realistically sweet. The next day, Sam goes to meet with Principal Franklin over her misdeeds in the past week.
Oh, I got kicked out of the cafeteria for slapping Gibby with a piece of pizza.
Why did you slap Gibby with a piece of pizza?
I found it on the floor. I wasn't gonna eat it.
I'm not saying she should be in jail, but I think suspension should at least be considered. The secretary comes in, needing help logging onto the computer, and Franklin says he can use his login info, before leaving the room to clean up a stain on his tie, allowing Sam to go into the system and change Carly's grade. You know, there's an episode a couple of seasons later where Franklin gets fired and the whole premise is the group trying to get him rehired. I don't know if that's such a good idea since this guy is fucking awful at his job. Sam tells Carly, but makes her promise not to tell anyone.
Why'd you do that? So you'll get the straight A's you deserve.
You changed my B+
To an A+. And I changed 2 of my D's to B's. And I even bumped up one of Freddie's grades.
You see, Sam, especially early on, could actually use her evil techniques for the right reasons. Sure, she's a juvenile delinquent, but she has a heart. Kinda. Sorta. Carly tells Freddy, to which he freaks out, but she convinces him not to tell either. So they try to come up with a way to change their grades back before report cards go out.
If I could get access to the school's network, I could do it from my laptop. There's a T5 jack in the computer lab I could tap into.
So in trying to fix a small crime Sam did, you two plan to do a much bigger crime that could get you both expelled. Actually, I can follow that logic. And hey, we get an actually funny teacher.
This is number 7 and 9.
What about number 8?
I'm in charge!
Carly distracts the teacher through shenanigans, and Freddy is able to hack his way into the school system.
Is that the lunch menu for this week?
Yeah, why?
Would it kill anyone if we changed spinach to tater tots?
Okay, 2 things. If you don't like what's on the menu, then just bring lunch from home. That's what I and millions of other kids did. And 2, so changing your good grade to a great grade is wrong, but changing the lunch menu, which will probably require them to order more food on short notice, is okay. The CSA show up because of course they do. Franklin tries to vouch for them, but it isn't looking good.
You have to tell them.
Even if you do, you still committed a pretty serious crime, so at worst all 3 of you would go to juvie. Carly admits they hacked the system, but she has an excuse.
Carly?
We wanted to know when your birthday was.
Right. We heard it was today.
And we just wanted to be sure.
No, he buys it and they give him a microwave as a gift. You are really bad at your job. Since the two couldn't change their grades back, they feel awful. I mean, guys, I feel weird saying this about a Schneider show, but you're too nice.
You made us lie to Principal Franklin.
To keep your dirty little secret.
Come on, guys, she was doing it for the right reasons. Give her a break.
Hey.
You liar!
What?
That's just a funny joke I like.
Report cards came in the mail?
Yeah, I'm so proud of you.
You should be. She earned that grade.
You see, this is actually a pretty gray area. Yeah, changing grades is wrong, but this dude was just being an asshole, and Carly absolutely deserved that grade. Her dad even got her a big screen TV just to push the guilt that much more.
I already have so many nice things. Can't we give that to a hobo or something?
No, hobos can't afford cable.
God, this show could be funny when it was at its best. Carly starts to fall apart as she realizes she made the top 10.
Karen Yamakawa right off the list.
Congratulations, Carly.
Oh, screw you. She was gonna make it onto the list if she had a competent teacher anyway. But anyway, this show is supposed to be about a web series, but Carly can't do much because of her guilt.
That's it! I can't take it anymore!
And all the iCarly fans signed off never to log on again. She admits the truth to Spencer and goes to tell Principal Franklin, but says that she was the one who originally changed the grade. But Freddy already told him that he did it. But then Sam comes in and confesses that she was the one who changed the grades, getting Carly and Fred off the hook.
And I was wrong to do that to a friend.
Seriously, where was this Sam over the course of the series? It's not like she's an angel, she changes her punishment because Sam's gonna Sam, but still, this is a really good episode. Like, I just picked this one because I couldn't find any others that even remotely fit as a counterpoint to I Go Nuclear, but this is actually a great episode that I had forgotten about. It reminded me that when this show was at its best, it could be one of the best live-action Nick shows ever made. It was funny, there's just a bunch of little quips I like, and I like that they keep building on them. They bring that hobo joke back like 3 times. It's got sort of a gray area with the conflict. Sam changed the grades, which is wrong, but with Carly's grade, it was the grade she deserved. Even the teacher acknowledged that. And when Sam confesses at the end, it was really sweet. And so now we get into comparing it to I Go Nuclear. Okay, so the stories are very different, but you'll remember that 2 of my biggest problems were the teacher, Mr. Henning, and Sam getting away with being lazy. I hate those cliches and want them to die. Well, here the teacher is also an incompetent tool, but at least the episode plays him up as the asshole he clearly is, while Mr. Henning is portrayed more as just a bumbling hippie. No, they're both just as bad, it's just one episode acknowledges it. And Sam is so much more likable here, unlike I Go Nuclear, where she just does the bare minimum and gets an A because life is stupid and unfair. Okay, I know that's really stretching it, but I promise that the next episode will be a closer match. It'll be a Zoe 101 episode, and I think that'll be the last one we do for 2020 because I've done 3 years in less than 10 months. Anyway, join me for that next time where we'll look at an episode where Zoe tries to get back at Logan for his dickishness. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.
to him?
I chewed him off.